Welcome back to our Ultracompact Park build. We are moving some animals around today at the start. Lystrosaurus, Microstratus are going back here in an herbivore pen. The Seggies will become the Baryonyx pen then, and this is where the Utyrannus will go with the Coelophysis. Although at the point where we had Utyrannus, we probably airlift the Coelophysis out of here to a new enclosure, and this becomes a secondary herbivore enclosure. The Nodosaurus, we're probably going to cut from the park. We'll keep them for now. And move them into the herbivore pen in the back with the micros, but we'll do that later after everything else is moved over first and settled in. Picture of a Nodosaurus drinking. Might work. Are you thirsty? Bat eater? Oh yeah, because he gets rabies. I forgot. Yeah, I mean, they're not like thirsty, but soon. Then on our staff, we put 1 on rest, 2 on an expedition here for money. We need to process some more fossils, working on baryonyx. Which is close to done. We must have 1 more dig to do. And then, yeah, some other filler junk. Alright, so yeah, we'll get that taken care of soon. Yeah, hopefully by the time the baryonyx is like synth and ready to hatch, we have all this stuff moved out. Then it should be able to just come right out. We need to clear space for fossils now. Do this batch on you. And then what do we need for the baryonyx expedition? 5. So yeah, we'll clear that. We'll wait, then we do the berry afterwards, I guess, on these 2. Welfare specialist hangs out. Oh, well, you know what? While you're here, grab that real quick. Okay, we got 1 more micro to wake up. We should probably start transferring these because they do have a tendency to take a while to get sedated and then wake up. Hookworm's resolved. Okay, there's the micros. I'm gonna let the let this stuff get moved and let the Nodosaurus drink before we do anything else here, because I don't need the panic to keep them off the waterway. I do want to get, you know, the car to complete this contract for me. It'd be great. Alright, a little bit of fiber and a little bit of leaf. Okay, and then fossils were done, so everybody is back now. Yeah, a lot of money to be made with the gold. Oh yes, right, so then the last stream, I realized I didn't look for gold, which is another profitable fossil thing. So I did that. I did the search and I dispatched a job to Judith River to do an expedition for profit. So that's where that came in. That was not included in the episode. So yes, let's get the baryonyx finished. All right, everything's moving. Contract time, amenities, super free. This is drink.
Restaurants, shops, pit stops, and I don't mean the kind for race cars.
Okay, then we need to clear more space on the fossils, unfortunately. So we got to just do a filler pile of crap. Sure. Then presumably that should be done.
The dinosaurs capture one's imagination, and we continue to capture information with the completion of work, such as this latest.
All right, everything up and moving is a Seggy. That's perfect. All right, so fossils are in. So, a little bit of things to sell. Did we get the last berry? We did. Baryonyx is completed. We'll put that on here. This leaves us with 4 logistics. So, we are back indeed. We will not be eaten by crows, unlike that movie. So nothing currently. Well, we could dig Sinosauropteryx. It's expensive, but we have 7 mil, so that's fine. The other thing we could do is work on pushing towards Triceratops and Pachyrhinosaurus, which is already here. We're going to need more scientists soon. That's another option. Mutabura. Wait, was Mutabura supposed to come? Yeah, Mutabura is coming, yes. Yes. Which we have. I forgot we did Mutabura. Yes. So that's not currently available. Why don't we actually just... Let's take a look at Mutabura. So Mutabura goes in another herbivore pen, which is not the one we have currently, but we can probably just put it in there because it's a mixed pen anyway. This is 4. So if I would have used the geneticist here, that would have worked. Okay. Okay. So yeah, unfortunately we got to finish fossils then. I guess we don't do an expedition currently because there's not really much of anything else to do right now with what we have. Let's take a look at scientists. Hey, Primal Gamer. I'm doing well. How are you? Scientists. We have nothing of note at all. What are we exactly looking for here? We're really looking for like a logistics specialist to like patch up everything else, because the generalist is, well, general, so a logistics specialist would allow us to not have to dispatch 2 people on digs continuously. It's a bunch of crap. Okay, here's my thought process, right? I don't really want to grab a mediocre scientist that's not going to work well in our roster. I would rather just wait. So we're just gonna chill and slow roll with what we got if we need to. That way we could try to keep the roster of scientists slim as well, because it fits the theme of the park, right? Have a limited selection of scientists for a limited tiny park. It makes a lot of sense to me. Let's get a baryonyx out. Random. And then we'll do random favorite. No modifications, 6 genetics. You, then you'll be mad at me and you'll need a break, and then we can do Mutta, which will be quicker. I think that makes sense. I think I'm okay with that. In fact, yeah, let's just clear this as well. Put them both on a break together. Okay, we had a storm. It wasn't too bad. The gate did go down, but we got it repaired before anything escaped. We need 7 welfare to treat this frickin' Lystrosaurus, so we're going to push the generalist over the limit, technically, and then send them out afterwards. And then we'll have to do the baryonyx after that still, so... A little bit of a delay because of the storm, but nothing too bad. Okay, we'll get the Muttas, again, random. Just synthing. Oh, wait, I sent the other person out. Yeah, the welfare specialist is still on hand, so we can hatch the one when I have actually the other person back, or when this is done. Ichthyosaurus wasn't one of the most space efficient. It was just a filler one to combine with 2 of the most space efficient. I should revisit that. That was one of the early things. 2 Mutta eggs is pretty dog shit. What's the unlock condition for the hatchery upgrade? That's 1.5, right? Yeah, 1.5. Okay, well, let's get this baryonyx get out. There's nothing else really to do until then. Actually, we can do some research. Let's look at research. Ceratopsians. Okay. Okay, we're releasing the baryonyx. He's going over in here. We're going to have to retool this, but that's fine. Actually, the first thing to do, retooling this, This is like a Camp Cretaceous one? Yeah, nothing special. Well, first thing to do is the Piscivore feeder, which I probably should have thought about if I even have the squad for that. I do. Okay. It takes everybody to get this. Hideous. Disgusting. Yeah, Cerato and Aloe are listed as fighting, but I do think it's like an unhappiness trigger. There's definitely some sort of mechanic for certain animals where they will fight only under, like, you know, suboptimal circumstances. Okay, I can't delete these little bits. Probably because there's like a guy sleeping in them, which is really obnoxious, but like, overall, not a big deal. All right, Mr. Baryonyx, you need fish, you need water, you need rock. Terrain constraints because of somebody sleeping, presumably, as well. And you do need forest. Yeah, trying to do this with all these little bastards in here kind of sucks. Okay, I mean, he's close anyway. We'll expand this pen later as need be. %. Okay, I can clear that at least. Does that cover the rock? No. So you can freely probably place forest around your rocks and not run into issues. Have we lost any sand? No, and we actually have plenty of sand. So I can probably also push this a little more aggressively towards the sandy part. Okay, and fish. We need this to be close enough to the ranger station there because we only got the one, so putting it over here is probably fine. Yep, plenty of range. Okay, and you just need forest. Hopefully, if he moves, he'll have enough, and if not, we can adjust it. The only carnivore which has no open space requirement. Very weird, huh? Never knew that, never caught that. What do you, I mean, water's like open space. Come on now. I'm going to close this gate and airlift this Segi over because I want to get the Muddas going. So we're just going to chuck these guys. Oh yeah, we only got 2 eggs. I assume these are social 4, right? Yes. Let's get a second batch. Oh, and my welfare specialist actually needs a break anyway, so... Alright. Alright, Patasaurus is our next research task, so we'll get this done on the path to Nigersaurus. Might want to consider building our other herbivore pen rather than dumping everything in with the micros and listros if we do Nigersaurus soon. Not exactly a priority though. We can also get rid of the Notosaurus because we decided we're not keeping him, so that also frees up some more space. Because the micros and the listros, they only like each other? Yes. So we have room for effectively one more animal in here. Holy hell! Genuinely shocked that actually got stopped. That was a lot. Okay, 3 eggs. Defensive, defensive, nocturnal. Wait, these are defensive. That's actually, like, perfect. That's kind of wild that they are defensive like that. No fossils currently. Let's get you on a break. Let's check the scientists, see if we got new ones. Yeah, we do. Welfare specialist, but not what I'm looking for. Cheaper expeditions, but only one logistics, ain't it? Altruistic. Blah. Terrible. I think I'm just going to keep re-rolling for the logistics specialist. I think I just like the idea of the triple specialist in the specialist facility or whatever to optimize staff. And we get nothing. Alright, second batch is just another defensive meta, so that's 3 defensive, which is the Triceratops requirement, right? So that's actually really nice that that worked out. Did I ever get... Yeah, I got that guy out of there. Okay. And then... Yeah, no, really nothing to do there. How long do we have till scientists pop again? We could look at that. And we should look at contracts. 2 minutes. Okay. Contract me. Profits, sell, rip. Yeah, let's just take profits.
I'm more interested.
It's perfect with a new animal ready to come out.
That come with wealth.
All right, let's get this batch released.
There is no denying that the park is a business, so we have to be aware of the bottom line.
Got a nice, vivid vibe, Mutabura going here. Feels like a JWE1 Vivid skin very strongly. Oh god. a fucking colossal Moa would be interesting, I guess we could say. A very particular version of interesting. Alright, Sonora and Pilo. Nice blue stripes. Calco. Or Champlain Calco. And you are Amazon Papu.
Then the Mutaburasaurus takes
Very
the
nice.
prize. This is a large herbivore that should make for an excellent addition to our collection.
There's no money in helping endangered animals. You gotta bring crap back, or bring crap back, but not really. You gotta pretend you're bringing stuff back. That's what it is. Gambia Pilo. That's a very nice one. I like the blue and orange. And a Great Sandy Rana. That one's very basic. Well, that's a good herd. They're missing ground fiber, but they'll find some. They do need forest, which nobody else in this pen has needed. Let's put forest in the corners. And then, yeah, eventually they'll have their own home. And then we can adjust this pen at that time to be maybe a little more conducive. Also, maybe I just expand this at this point, honestly. It's a pretty narrow pen. Let's look at the visibility arc. So this corner here is a little more visibility, but like, yeah, this is largely out of view. Actually, a lot more space over here, specifically. Let's do this. This is kind of... Well, I mean, this is going to eventually be an herbivore pen anyway, so... Like, expanding this now is not that bad. Low appeal animals you could buy for cheap. I mean, it's an interesting idea to have, like, some fodder, you know, modern era animals to put in to a zoo. I mean, it kind of, like, in universe, it kind of makes some sense. It's not like a completely out of the blue type idea. Okay, they're still good. What about the micros? Micros are still good. Notosaurus is not, but, I mean, who cares? We'll sort him out last. Okay, plenty of ground fiber. Okay. We'll let those corners get built up and then take out the fences. We can try again to see if these are profitable yet. I mean, it's not. Oh, it's not even optimized, though. Hold on. The Just Struthiomimus Zoo, that seems like a standalone type video. Where it's just like a 10-minute video of like how many Struthiomimus do I have to put in this park until it's a fucking finished. I don't know. I don't see what you would do with that personally. Okay, so still not there. This could work for profit though, but I don't think I care that much about that contract because we're kind of close anyway. All right, just gonna close this and sedate this guy and move him over. I'm not gonna bother. Oops. Okay, Mudda's happy. Technically missing forest, but is not fully expanded. So it'll be fine. Nodo is missing ground leaf. He's missing open space too. But there's like probably a little bit over here. So I'm not going to worry about the Nodosaurus that much either. Oh, is he? Well, now he doesn't have the gate part. Okay, but I don't think he had much territory over here. So that also doesn't matter. Okay, scientists. Fancy emu farm. I mean, yeah. I would also go to the Struthiomimus only park. At least once. Okay, I'm investing a lot of money in trying to get a goddamn logistics person. And it's just not happening. Where are they? Can nobody do logistics? 60 to 70 Carnotaurs and only 3 stars. Yeah, I would assume the variety penalty would be, like, at least on, like, a high variety value, would be pretty damn punishing for a single species park. Usually don't pay that much attention to the actual penalty of the variety penalty until we hit, like, until we're trying to finish a park up, right? Do we ever hit 1.5? I don't think so. No, we did not. So, we have access to all of our gene mods if we just get the crew together. We do not have genetics. We have 9. 10 if I get the facility, so I would need more points. Then to get more points, we need a logistics specialist. So we're not breeding alphas yet. Alphas after logistics, after staff research. So we just keep working on some basic... Oh, trike. I mean, we could just do trike. That's good. I'll take trike. And then I guess go out and dig up Sinoceratops or Sinosauropteryx at the same time. Sure. All right, expedition coming in any second now. So, this is all just fodder, so I'm not going to process any of this. We get no rebate from this. We moved the... Pausing here for a second. We moved the Nodosaurus over here. So the Nodosaurus... they're chill with the Coelophysis, which means Ceratopsians will be chilling here. So we're going to get the Triceratops next, because we can put it in the park immediately. And it's not going to be as expensive as Sinosauropteryx is, so we're going to go swing over for that. And then same logic, kind of, with 6. It was actually a little rough. 6 is the full squad, and I don't really like that. I still probably just do it. Or do we just finish Sinosauropteryx because it doesn't require me to dispatch the entire squad? It's just it's 4, which is much more easy. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna keep doing Sinosauropteryx. 6 is just a little too much currently. And these refresh in 10 minutes still. So nothing new. So we can process this then. So yeah, this is almost done anyway. Okay. So this should be the rest of the Sinosauropteryx. Does not fit in one batch, but is done. So let's get that cooking. I guess on the 6. And then, yeah, nothing we can do on the 4. We can just go back here and see if scientists have refreshed. 2 minutes still. All right. All right, some little squirrely fellas. So, forest open space, water meets sand. Yep, the usual. Random favorite to not get blanks. Don't bother with this. We're just going to release probably just a few of these for now, I think. I don't see any reason to push the number up really high. And yeah, they can just live with their fellow scavenger, and everything should be chill. I've never actually done this, like, ever. I've never put 2 scavengers in the same pen, I don't think, in a single park. But we'll do it here. So we'll have an intolerant alpha, but this will be overruled by humble social. Humble social combined is 55, right? And this is only 30. We don't have a social intol, which would be a problem, so they can all be hatched. No issues there. So we'll put them on that, and then everybody's got to go on break. Let's take another look for the holy grail of the logistics specialist. They don't exist. Genetics. Welfare. Where's my logistics? This is crazy. Dennis Brownlie? What a name. 521. Yeah, he's the only one. We're gonna call you you're gonna be Dennis Brown Eye. Alright, Dennis. Oops, no, don't do that. Okay. I'm a child. Anyway, so large amenity 2.5. We could use towers to extend visibility. I could put him on that for now. I don't really mind scientists. They're not like amazing or all that in depth, but they don't bother me that much. I know some people really hate them, but I don't know. I kind of like the idea of having, your employees to manage. The Prehistoric Kingdom system is much better, I think, than the JWE one, but it doesn't bother me that much. Yeah, definitely, like, if we lose Geolopterus for the rebirth Neurognathus, that's such a huge downgrade. Like, I don't hate the Neurognathus, but it is very, like, retro goblin pterosaur, and Geol is a precious little baby who deserves the world and should be in over it. I mean, ideally we'd have both, and eventually we probably will have both, but, you know. I think the skins will come back for blue in the movie animals? Yeah, I think so. It seems likely that with breeding, the skins can just be passed down in the same way a combination of a pattern and a skin would. So I don't think there'll be an issue. The only thing I'm not sure about is how they'll handle variants. So I think for like the skin for blue, that's like a shoe-in. I think you can essentially be very, very sure that it'll be there, but the like the Frontier Allosaurus, to pick a random example, probably gets cut. And then for like franchise variants, like the different parasaurs, I really have no idea what they do. Like, do they include both? Do they pick one? Do they include both but they don't crossbreed? Like, what are they going to do about that? It's strange. You're just, doing good hiring practices, hiring the people that are qualified, irrespective of their gender and ethnic identity, which is how DEI is supposed to work. Before it was demonized by the fringe. What do you mean genuine hybrid dinosaurs in 3? I don't. What do you mean by that? Alright, can you guys go in the pen, though? You're supposed to be in the pen, though. Now, we got Death Valley Pilo, we got Gambia Calco. It's all kind of dark, so they all kind of just look the same. I mean, the real appeal of the Sinosauropteryx, of course, is the paleo-accurate patterning, which does kind of lead them to be not the most exciting animal in terms of, like, crazy colors, because, you know, them being realistic kind of precludes them from having, like, a ridiculous pattern. But that's why I like them a lot. So they're still, like, forming territory, but I'm sure they'll be fine. Okay, so 1.5 stars is a lot of research. Why don't we do scientist training first? I think this makes the most sense to knock out first. So let's do this, maybe. These two are going to be mad at me, but I just want to get this started. And then over here, we can push for... well, Metri-Conch is the only one we can do there. Does that... What does that unlock? That unlocks this. This is there. Utai is there. So that's Utai. Suko is there to there to there. So we don't need this node. This does nothing for us. Doesn't unlock scavengers. Doesn't unlock anything else. Allura Titan's unlocked. Sintao is 12. This is 9. Actually, a geneticist really can't do much by himself. Okay, well, I guess we wait. We'll just focus on... Like, we get this done, we can distribute some extra points and optimize some other research, but we need, like, hatchery upgrades, we need our alpha genes and stuff now, so... Big research push. Alright, so while these two guys rest, I think we can put a point into genetics here, because we'll need it eventually anyway, and we can go ahead and get one of the alpha gene mods sorted out. We'll take... Oh, group... Humble's the one that's automatic, right? I always forget this. Yeah, confined space is Humble, that's automatic. So we need the 12. We could just do cross-species. Removing intolerant in this park build is relevant somewhat. Maybe. It's only 300k investment. I don't think I'm opposed to it. Nice storm blowing in. Good to include one of these every now and then in case something weird happens. Upside of the compact part, very easy to clean up. Yeah, piece of cake. Just let the guy drive around a bit. Okay, so these guys are all back and ready. So let's look at the priorities here. Logically, the priority is probably specialist facility first, because that gets us points for everybody else. So, right now we have 8. Let's put a point in him to 6. And then we'll send those two out for specialist facility. And that leaves us with welfare. So we could do... Well, we could do hookworms, but I'm more inclined to probably do vaccines. Pox is pretty annoying and spreads fast, so we'll do that. I could almost do Chopra alone. But I don't really have anything for Mukherjee to do, so I don't see why I would not just send the duo. Seems fine. Alright, we'll just keep knocking out these vaccines. Rabies next, I think. You don't want a rabid dinosaur to get unnoticed and knock a hole in a fence. And then they'll be done at about the same time. We can get the upgrades installed here and then move on to the next research task. Which will be something. We'll worry about it when the time comes. Okay, so specialist facility for extra points for free. Well, not for free, but for no upkeep cost, which is the thing that really kills you in this game. That node also gives us control center bonuses, so efficiency and motivation. I think I like efficiency. That's task time reduction, which Feels pretty good usually. I wonder if resting counts as task time. I don't know if I've ever checked that. If I did, I no longer remember the results. And then, yeah, we've got one more vaccine to do, but that can wait. Let's get this done. So that's a good job just for you. Yeah, then we have 11 here on these 3. I'm thinking we put the extra point into you right away. 9 is kind of a nice magic number for genetics anyway. And then we can do social. I'm not going to put the logistics point in. We're going to min-max so hard, I'm not going to do it. I'm not giving her that point to do vaccine research alone. I'm just not doing it. Next research task, Nigrosaurus, and then we do paths, and then we finish up our vaccines. Actually, since I made you 2-9, you can do this alone, so that's actually perfect, because then we can go do vaccines at the same time. I wasn't even thinking about that. So yeah, great. Cool. All right, a break for you. That leaves us with these guys. We do paths next. That is comfort, big path, 7, 3. And then on our 1-6, we do the, what, hookworms? Yeah, hookworm medication. Great. Okay, we're coming up on the end of the research push. Of course, we've burnt a lot of money here. Also, our profits are in the shitter because income tax kicked in at some point. So this contract should probably just be replaced. Because this was from before income tax happened, which is pretty evil to, like, give us income tax when you're in the middle of a profitable contract. We'll take the amenity one. That's always a freebie. All right, paths replaced. Let's get this upgraded with our egg synthesis chance guaranteed. We should probably start breeding alphas. Did I have anything else left? No. Yes. No, we did all 3 of these. Okay. Great. So alphas. Let's start with not baryonyx. Actually, do we start with baryonyx? Let's start with micro. We need micros. The micros, we actually had one split off and get mad, so let's start with the animal that actually needs more friends and go from there. I'm gonna clear the intall. These are a big clutch size. I think we can get away with like 50-50 and just save some points here. Plus, I'm going to want like 30 of these eventually, and we have 5, so even if we don't get the alpha in one clutch, it's fine. Can I do another clutch of like Mutta on the side, maybe? These, I don't think we have many in the park in the final layout. I don't remember for sure, but... my list is... Oh, no, maybe actually 11 Muttaburrasaurus is in the final park. So maybe we do actually try and get this down to 5, so we can do it now. Yeah. So yeah, I did actually, like, plan out a lot of the exhibits using calculators to figure out, like, exactly how many would, like, perfectly overlap each other to make like the optimal exhibit size for the species that are being combined. Okay, skipping the aggressive, we'll take the skittish. We'll take all of the ones that we can hatch, and we got a social humble alpha. Is there anything that will mess with that? I don't think so. I think, at least not for these guys. All right, the micro, or the Muttaburras. Humble social defensive is optimal, so these 4 are good to go. I will make you mad at me. I'm fine with that. All right, micros. It's a nice batch. I always like the purple and blue pattern. Looks pretty good a lot of the time. Although these guys are just gray skins. Impopopilo, Mangrove Calco, Thalar Letho, and then these are Killian. Falco and Papu. And then we got our Muttas. Get them out too. Maximum speed. Sprinting to the finish line. Alright, we've got Yukon Pulkrana, Limpopo Letho, Limpopo Papurana, and Quillian Lethal Bates. Doing his jig. Alright. Next, alphas. We might as well do Listro because the back pen is open. Uh, 5 on this, I guess, is fine. We'll have more of these, but I might as well... Yeah, push it anyway. I gotta put these guys on break. I kind of forgot I pushed them over the limit a little bit. Fair enough. Then we have you, Mr. Logistics Specialist. Do I have an expedition I can do for 7? I do, Triceratops. Yeah, go do that. Perfect. Alright, for the Listrosaurs, 6 of them. Skittish. Social Humble, that should be good. Okay. Take your whole stock again, that's fine. Next animal. I'm not going to do Notosaurus because I don't think he's going to stay. So let's do Coelophysis, I guess. This one I might only hatch the alpha. Because, I don't know how many of these we're actually going to want in the park. And these probably need to be airlifted out at some point. And so if I have 20 Coelophysis to airlift, I will go crazy. So let's put in like 75, 75. Boost those odds up nice and high. Alright, then we got a 3 that can do the fossils when that comes back. Who's dying and why? Actually should investigate that. Social Humble Small App actually is pretty nice alpha. Mangrove Rana, sure. You know what? Yeah, just hatch him. Fuck it. Okay, what's going on here? Why are you dying? You need food? We probably have too many scavengers. For 2 feeders. Maybe. Big maybe. Big maybe. Let's not worry about 1. If this keeps happening, then we'll have to add a 3rd feeder. But for now, it's probably not that big of a deal. Alright, there's a little pack. We're not going to go through all the skins on these guys. We've seen plenty of Lystrosaurus already. Alright, and then our staff. We got our trike fossils. Let's go back out for more Triceratops at the other dig site. Is there 2 trike? I mean, there's at least 2. I think it's just 2. Opalized fossils, nice. Solid. I'll take it. And a perfect batch of fossils. We just got to get the Coelophysis egg hatched. And get these guys through the gate and merged with the herd, and then that'll also be good. Missing ground fiber, but like you should be merging. Yeah, there you go. Okay, let's do fossils first. Next, Alpha. Spinoceropteryx. Probably a lot of these going as well. Yeah, we'll do 50-50, no intol. Try that. Well, Expedition's back already before the fossils are done. Selling some cephalopods. Then presumably this is the rest of the Triceratops. Well, maybe not because there's other stuff in the dig site. Trike. 68 and 27. 68, 32. Okay. On you. Then these two take a break, and then we hatch egg. All right, egg. What do we got for egg? We got social, nocturnal, fit, humble, vulnerable, social, humble. Bingo. I will take all of these, but we can't hatch. I will put a point into welfare. I'm willing to do that. All right, there we go. So next time we can get the Triceratops out and continue working on alphas, but that'll be it for this episode. Yes, fight for dominance. Do it.